Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to guide you through a couple of very easy Linux distributions, and by easy, well, I do mean for beginners, for people who are transitioning from some other distribution, and basically I have separated them into a couple of, how do I put it? I have had a couple of ideas on what makes an easy distribution. So one of the things would be easy installation, although a lot of Linux distributions pass this argument. They are pretty easy to install, most of them. Then there is easy updates. So by easy updates, I think and I believe that for new users who would like to have an easy experience, as I like to call it, the computer getting out of your way of doing the work, I think updates, security updates and stuff like that should be fully automated, or prompt you that there are some updates waiting for you to apply them. So you shouldn't really be needing to learn how the updates work or what commands to type in. Basically the system, in my opinion, should prompt you that updates are waiting and you just need to click yes. This is how I see it. Also, there should be an easy way to install software, also without needing to know any command line commands, right? And that's pretty much it, which is basically enough for getting started, getting good maintenance and security, and getting applications. Once you get to the part where your applications work, everything else is pretty easy and most standardized across all of the Linux ecosystem. So let's go ahead and start with a couple of things. So my bottom one has locked while I was talking. There we go. I have now unlocked it. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that the computer on which I'm doing this video has 16 gigabytes of RAM. And the reason why I am saying this is because right now I am running 4 Linux computers at once inside this 16 gigs of RAM. So Linux is usually pretty lean on RAM usage and in general on your resource usage. So basically you can rely on Linux working on your older computer. However, there is one outlier here, and this is Ubuntu. So my 3 easy Linux distributions that I will recommend to you are Linux Mint, which is actually 2 of them, then Zorin OS and Ubuntu. So now, well, here we have Ubuntu Linux installer, which actually froze for some reason. I have never seen this before, but the reason why I'm showing you this and why I didn't fix this behind the scenes before recording is because I think this is a sign, not like a sign from God or anything like that, but maybe just a technological sign or kick to me to stop recommending Ubuntu. I'm not going to really stop recommending Ubuntu. It's really a good distribution overall. Maybe it just got jammed because I gave it only 2 gigabytes of RAM. But then again, I also gave 2 gigabytes of RAM to the rest of them, right? So take it as you want, but in general, I do recommend Ubuntu Linux. We are going to get back to it after a little bit. So right now, my 2 working installations that have passed the installer without a hiccup are Zorin 18 and Linux Mint. So if you go to the web page, let me go ahead. Here we go. This is the web browser. So if you go to these 3 web pages, Linux Mint, when you go to the download, it will offer you the regular Linux Mint. I will explain this in a bit. So in my opinion, you can skip the Mate edition and XFC edition and go straight to Cinnamon edition, except if you have slightly older hardware, because this one is really, really light on your resources. This one is a bit hit and miss for a lot of users, but I don't have anything against you trying this edition. It's just that this is the crown desktop environment from the team behind Linux Mint. So when people choose Linux Mint, they usually go for the Cinnamon edition because this is the reason why people choose Linux Mint. But as I said, you can choose any of these two other desktop environments just as much. But when you go to download, it will offer you Linux Mint 22.2, which they call Zara. This one is based on Ubuntu. Okay, so there is another one. If you go back here and choose the menu here, like home, maybe just go to download once again. I'm gonna be honest, this is a bit hard to find. I don't have the reason why they did that, but just type on your search engine Linux Mint LMDE and it will take you directly to the download. So this is the Linux Mint Debian edition version 7. This is the latest one that just came out. And the main difference between Linux Mint and Linux Mint Debian edition is that one is based on Ubuntu, another one is based on Debian. So this one is aiming to be as similar as possible to the original Mint based on Ubuntu, but without using Ubuntu. The package base is provided by Debian. In my very personal opinion, LMDE version of Mint is a better choice than the original one. This is my opinion. Of course, the web page of Linux Mint will make you believe that they still prefer you to download the Ubuntu version. And it is absolutely your choice. Which one do you want to try? I have personally tried both of them multiple times, and they offer fairly similar experience. So their goal has been achieved. But I am personally more a fan of cleaner install base, and Debian as an operating system is a lot cleaner than Ubuntu. So from my point of view, something based off of Debian is a better choice automatically than something based off of Ubuntu. Not that Ubuntu is bad, it's just that I think Linux Mint needs a lot more. They need to put a lot more effort into cleaning some crap from Ubuntu to make it like a viable and clean as Linux Mint should be. So enough talking from me. Just go and download whichever version you like. I am suggesting Linux Mint Debian edition. If you want the main one, go ahead and download that one. Also, let me show you Zorin download. If you just go to the download button here, first it will offer Zorin professional version. This one is basically bundled with 8 premium desktop layouts, including the one that looks like macOS, the one that looks like Windows 11, and stuff like that. And a lot of pre-installed software. This one costs money. I mean, you don't have to download this version. There is nothing particularly special about the Pro version. You can go ahead with the normal one that's completely free. But if you are enjoying the operating system that you have downloaded and you want to support the team behind that, you can go ahead and purchase the Pro version. And if you do decide to do that, please do that through my download link, which is zorin.com/Linux Renaissance. You can find it clickable below this video. This is my way of thanking you for, well, you supporting me indirectly. So if you scroll down a little bit below, you will find Zorin OS 18 core version. This one is completely free. Just press download it, burn it to USB stick, and install it. On the Ubuntu side of things, you can go to download Ubuntu Desktop, and the first thing that will be offered to you is a version called LTS. This stands for long-term support. So in general, a long-term support version of Ubuntu comes out every 2 years, and it's always the 4th month in a year when it comes out. This is the sub version, and this is the year when this came out. So the next one is coming out in 26, so that would be like in half a year. My recommendation is to always go with the LTS version. If you scroll down a little bit more, you will find the one that came out just recently, like in this month. This one has a lot newer software, but this one is much more tested, and it gives you the opportunity of much less chances of any kind of breakage. So just to be clear, this one already has discovered some kind of breakages that have been caused by running some testing version of some core utilities, and well, the experience is overall lesser than the version that's true and tried with a lot of millions of people. So my recommendation for Ubuntu is to always go with the LTS version. Also, the Zorin OS is based on the very same LTS version of Ubuntu, and Linux Mint Debian edition is based off of Debian, and Debian is always coming out every 2 years, so it's pretty stable. So we have now removed the web browser, and let's go to the freshly installed Linux Mint here. So while I was talking to you, Linux Mint has popped up with a update manager. I haven't done literally anything. The update manager popped up on its own. It's telling me that there are some security updates, software updates, system snapshots. Okay, I will just press OK and see what happens. Do you wish to switch to a local mirror? Yeah, let's do that. So it speeds up the installation. Okay, let's pretend that I have no clue what's going on here. Refresh. It seems that my operating system is up to date, which is not very strange because I have just installed it. Let's see. Oh, actually, it's not. Actually, it's not up to date. Let's do the install updates. Okay, it's asking for my password here, and this is what it looks like to update Linux Mint. While the Linux Mint is downloading updates, let's go to our Zorin operating system. So in here, you will see the menu that is similar to the menu of Linux Mint, but a little bit different. So you can see here accessories, which is like files, text editor, weather, stuff like that. So I can show you the file manager here. Let's go and show you some other stuff like graphics. LibreOffice is pre-installed. This is like the replacement for Microsoft Office. Actually, it's very awesome. Also, the Evolution mail client is absolutely awesome. I love it. Calendar, contacts, classical stuff like that. Sound and video, there are some music players and video players pre-installed, all that good basic stuff that you will definitely need. Okay, software button is actually already pinned down below here. I'm gonna get to that in any second. There is also in system tools something called software updater. This will pop up on its own every now and then when the updates are ready. So let's check for updates now. There are some updates that are available. Let's click install now, and voila, something is now going on. So while the Zorin is downloading updates, let me guide you through the menu of Linux Mint for a second. So here you will get some drawing application, for the internet, the BitTorrent download, Thunderbird for emails. I'm sure you know about that one, Firefox web browser. By the way, on Zorin, the Brave privacy web browser is the default one, but of course you can download any that you like. There is Office, LibreOffice, of course, like on every Linux. Some sound applications like music and videos. Administration, where you will configure your fingerprints if you have a fingerprint scanner, like software manager. I'm going to show you that definitely. Time shift for managing some snapshots, which are like kind of like backups, but not really. Basically, these are like images of your files in a certain time, but that's a topic for a separate video. Preferences, of course, where you will configure quite a lot of stuff. Let me see if there is anything else interesting in effects, closing windows, traditional. Let's close window. Okay, let's open a terminal. Don't be afraid. I'm just opening it. I will not type anything that. Let's see. Fly effect. What happens now if I close it? Now it goes down. Okay, so there are some nice, cool effects going on. Let's go ahead and close this one. Firefox terminal, file manager. Okay, maybe we can compare some file managers here. So they look pretty much similar, right? They aren't the exact same application, but they do perform a very similar thing. So I don't think I need to show you how file managers work, but you, of course, go back and forth. You enter directories. You find some files that are in there. Music. There isn't really anything in these folders right now. Maybe in templates. Nope, nothing in there. But basically, it's how you would find your files. The same thing goes for Zorin File Manager. So, of course, nothing. Oh, there are some templates here. Let's see. LibreOffice Writer. What is this offering here? By the way, pay in mind that all of these Linux machines are running with 2 gigabytes of RAM and 2 CPU cores without hyperthreading. I don't know if that means anything to you technically. If it doesn't, then I will just say that this is a lot less resources than any normal computer nowadays. So I have given these machines 2 gigabytes of memory, while the most, like the cheapest refurbished laptop that you can buy nowadays usually comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and memory, right? So I have given it like 4 times less than you will be able to buy. So from that perspective, that's kind of cool. There is nothing really in these templates, so I'm not sure what the what was the point of this, but it is what it is. Then we will go to the store. So the store is here, generating cache for the first time. So let's say that you will want to install some audio editors. Let's give it a moment until it refreshes, and while we're waiting, let's go to Zorin and run its store, right? So the most popular free and open source audio editor is Audacity. So let's find it in the Zorin store, right? Audacity. There we go, and the filter is doing its thing. Let's click on Audacity. It's offering Flathub by default and all kinds of other formats, but generally, as a new Linux user, I would recommend just to stick to Flathub and the Flatpak format. This is becoming a de facto standard way on all of the Linux systems to install desktop applications. It's not the only way, but without thinking about it too much, if there is a Flatpak for the thing that you're looking for, go ahead and just use the Flatpak. You will be fine. Let's go back to Linux Mint Debian Edition for a moment. Audacity, there we go. A little bit different interface here. This one is offering system package by default, and I cannot change it. So let's go ahead and install the system package. And this one is asking me to agree with pulling all the other dependencies and my password. There we go. Well, the end result will be very similar, except for the fact that system packages are in most cases not getting new versions, which isn't a deal breaker in most cases. But sometimes you will want some newer versions of software, and the Flathub or Flatpak versions are always up to date. So from that perspective, I think Flatpak versions or Flathub is a place from which you're downloading, right? The Flathub versions are usually preferred. I will not go into any more technical details because this whole video is supposed to be for new users. So if you press the launch button here, it will definitely launch the Audacity. Let's close this one. And if you go to Zorin and press open, you can see that it's launching the same application, but the Flatpak version. There's some new plugins here. Continue. Close this. Okay, let's compare. On Zorin about Audacity, it says 375. Now let's go to Linux Mint about 373. So this one is slightly older, but not that much. Let me show you if it is easy to switch from system packages on Linux Mint to getting basically the Flathub versions of applications. So let's go to software sources here, and it's asking for the password. Okay, additional repositories. No, actually I didn't change anything, but it looks like we just needed to wait a little bit until it refreshes its package cache for the first time. Let's rerun it just one more time, and voila. Okay, let's type Audacity. Okay. System package. Yeah, for some reason it's not really showing Audacity. I don't know. Let's remove it. Continue. Flatpak. Audacity. Well, this is like a fork of the Audacity, but it's Audacity that I was looking for. And if Zorin can find it, then Linux Mint should find it as well. But in general, you should be able to download, for example, if you go to Discord here, it is saying that it's going to download from Flatpak. So all in all, the end goal for you is to open some kind of interface, type the name of the application that you want, whether or not it will download your system package or the Flathub version of package. It shouldn't matter for you that much, but in example of Discord, for example, it's a lot better to download Flatpak package because it's automatically updated. So this is kind of a good thing to do. So that's kind of my recommendation. If we switch to my Ubuntu installation for a second, we can see that it's still kind of stuck. So I'm just going to turn off this machine. But basically, the difference between these three operating systems, like visually, on the first glance, you can see that the taskbar is on the left side here. This is still the installer, right? This is not the installed operating system, just the installer. But the installed version of operating system looks the same. So you get the taskbar on the left side, and if you click on the main menu here, you will get it like in a full screen. This is coming from something called GNOME desktop environment. So the rest of the experience with the store, installing packages and updates is pretty much same on all three of them. So let's force off this virtual machine. We're not going to use Ubuntu anymore. There's Discord installed on our Linux Mint here. and you will see that it's now doing its thing like it does on Windows. Let's give it a couple of more seconds to start up for the first time. I'm definitely not going to log into this software. I don't use it anymore, but it is a very popular software, so it's kind of expected that people will definitely want access to stuff like that. We can close this. We can close this as well. We can go back to Zorin a little bit, and let's close Audacity here and the store. So you have now seen how the package manager works on Linux. The thing that I keep calling store. It's not really called store, but it's so easy to get a connection with the viewers of my videos that are unfamiliar with Linux, to just say some familiar words that everyone understands. And this is kind of my goal with all these videos. Let's go with some settings. System tools here, like disks, main menu, parental controls, power statistics. If you have a laptop, that will be useful. Settings, startup application, system monitor, the tour that I have closed when it launched for the first time. Let's go with settings here, so I can show you some cool things here. Bluetooth settings, displays. Well, I don't want to change the resolution or anything like that. Multitasking, appearance, some backgrounds here. Let's I don't know. Let's go with something. Oh, this is fine. Applications, okay, search, sharing, mouse and touchpad settings, keyboard, color, printers. I don't need printers. Display. I was searching for something special. Is it under appearance? Zorin appearance. Oh yeah, this is special settings here. Okay, this is what Zorin developed. So the layouts, right? This is the default layout that I have showed you. It's pretty well known. There is another one that kind of resembles Windows. I don't know what this is. Is it like more like Windows XP or more like Windows 7? You tell me. For example, if I open more applications, you will see the thing on the bottom is no longer like just an icon. So I don't know. You tell me what this reminds you of. The next one here is kind of like, I have no clue what this is, but the menu opens up in the full screen, and this is how Ubuntu actually works by default. So let's close that. Let's go to the last one. So now the menu and the whole thing is up, and it is what it is. Like, let's go to the first one. This is my favorite. Then we have themes, like we can switch to the red accent. We can go to the dark style. We can go with effects, like enable jelly mode. Jelly mode is something that I really enjoy using. I have shown this like a gazillion of times so far, but I just have it enabled on all of my computers. I just can't imagine living with a computer that doesn't have a jelly mode. I mean, I can install it on any computer. It's a no-brainer. But when you get it out of the box, it's kind of cool to have that reachable with just one button. Also, for example, desktop cube. So this button here is for switching like workspaces. You can. Why doesn't it work now? Maybe I need 3D acceleration for the desktop cube. I'm not sure, but my virtual machine doesn't have that. Anyways, when you switch between desktops, it kind of rotates a 3D cube on which desktops are stuck, So that's kind of cool. A little bit of settings about desktop and icons, how Windows behave. By the way, I'm not sure if it works with Zorin appearance, but with all other applications it will, right? So there is like tiling, like manual tiling. You can just drag the application on the top and choose one of these, right? So that's where you're going to tile your application. It's quite versatile, and you can also configure it on your own to have your own layouts of like not automatic but manual tiling. So that's one of the features that Zorin comes with, and it's something that I think they copied from Windows 11. But if that's something that you miss from Windows 11, then you can know that you have it here. Interfaces, scroll bar, screen keyboard, fonts. I mean, it's all standard stuff. Nothing revolutionary, but it's pretty configurable. The same thing goes with Linux Mint. If you go to preferences here, applet backgrounds. Let's go with backgrounds here. I don't know, this wallpaper. I mean, it's a neat set of wallpapers, right? So nothing to go crazy about, but it's nice to have options. Date and time, booklets, desktop, Bluetooth manager, applets, desktop, advanced network configuration, account details, accessibility, extension, firewall configuration, gestures, hot corners. I think you can understand all of these names, what they are supposed to be. I don't think I need to explain every single one of them. I'm just showing that there are many ways to configure your Linux desktop environment. Startup applications, themes, Windows tiling. Let's see tiling here. Enable tiling, maximize. Okay, there are less options here, but generally these are all good operating system. Okay, so after talking with you for like half an hour, I stand by what I recommend. Zorin OS, pretty customizable, works well out of the box. It supports. Actually, let me show you something else that is kind of cool with Zorin. This is Mint. This is Zorin. Okay, let me open the web browser. I do this often, actually. For example, let's go with OBS Studio. There is OBS Studio in the Linux store. Don't worry about it. You can download it from there. But if you make a mistake and go to a website, and if you mistakenly click on Windows version of the application, it will offer you the .exe version to download, which is for Windows. So these things don't actually work on Linux. But let's open it. What I have just downloaded, the Windows version of OBS. Let's run it. And Zorin has this neat trick where it recognizes like a gazillion of Windows applications, and it gives you a chance to press this button here, install OBS Studio. And when you press that, it will open up the Linux store, the normal Linux store, and it will install from Flathub. Okay, so let's go and install from Flathub. So let's say that I have downloaded obs.exe like in vain, but not really, because Zorin kind of intercepted this and offered the Linux version instead. So this is kind of cool. Let's try to install it again. Yeah, okay, let's pretend that we are intentionally disregarding the advice from Zorin OS, and we will just install Windows application support. I will not going to do that this time, because this takes a long time to finish the first time when you do that, but generally this installs something called Wine in the background. This is like Windows compatibility layer. So basically this will give you a chance to run the true legit native Windows applications on Linux. But if there is a Linux version of your application, just don't be that silly and install through the compatibility layer. Just use the native Linux version. Don't go with this button unless you really have to. So that's going to be it. And you can see here that the OBS has been installed. I mean, you can open it, configure it, and there you go. The OBS is now installed. So let's go back to my face cam. So I stand by my choice. Zorin OS remains my number one recommendation to everyone who asks for my opinion what they should install. The second place, it's kind of split between Ubuntu and Mint, but as time goes by, I'm starting to switch Ubuntu to the third place, and I kind of pushed Linux Mint to the second place, in my opinion. But these are just my recommendations. If you ask any other advanced Linux user, you will get a lot of different advices, and this is fine. This is all good. The reason why I recommend these three is simply because once you get with these three, there is a high chance that you will not ask me any questions. And it's not that I'm lazy for answering questions. It's just that I prefer to give a recommendation to the user if you're asking me for the opinion, of course. If you're not asking, then I'm not pushing. But if you're asking, then you want me to recommend something that just works for you. And if I give you something that just works, then it's kind of logical that you will not have any questions for me. Because if you have any questions for me, then that means that I have failed in recommending a proper distribution for you. That's easy as that, that's kind of simple to explain it this way. So I will guarantee you that with Zorin, you will have like 0 questions for me. With Linux Mint, you might have a question of 2. With Ubuntu, I don't know why it crashed in the installer. That's kind of not good, but all in all, these 3 remain my recommendation. If you are an advanced Linux user and you have different opinions about what should new users choose, please respond below this video. I appreciate continuing the conversation and helping new users to get on aboard our nice and pretty Linux ecosystem, because I want all of them to feel, I want all of you to feel very comfortable when you go, when you get aboard our little Linux ship. That's going to be it from me today. Give it a like, subscribe, maybe join the channel as my subscriber. If not, then maybe just enjoy the list of my favorite subscribers and Patreons. The list is going to go any second now.